All right, hey everyone, this is Rudy. It's December the 14th, the year 2016. I pray that you look at the address at the top of your screen and write Ed Brown a letter. I'll also put Elaine Brown's address in the comment section. I've never heard from her, but I'm sure she would like to hear some encouraging letters. I've written to her a few times, and we sent her, I think my wife sent a Christmas card. So I hope you guys can find the time to send these prisoners some Christmas cards. But here's what I sent to Ed Brown. I said, "Hi, Mr. Brown. Two more books headed your way. I found a book called Agenda 21 because he needs stuff to keep his mind occupied. He's been in prison for 9 years, I think. He's 74 years old. He'll die in prison. He'll be like 100. He doesn't get out until 2045. So he'll die in prison unless God works a miracle. So I send him books to keep his mind occupied. He is a Christian man. He's a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ. And so I just send him books to kind of help him and stimulate his mind while he's in prison. And I pray you guys do the same thing. If he starts receiving a lot of letters and lets him know people care, it can make his time more tolerable. The first book I sent him was Agenda 21 because he asked for books on that topic, an expose of the United Nations Sustainable Development Initiative and the forfeiture of American sovereignty and liberties by Ron Taylor. The second book I sent him was the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, a critique press monolith. So I've heard this UN 2030 is like the next thing after Agenda 21. I don't know a lot about it, but that's what somebody suggested, so I sent it to him. Okay, now Mr. Brown wrote me back. He said, "Rudy, all of this information I am gathering is evidence, confirmation for the Qui Tam lawsuit." I don't know what that is. I'd have to look that up. Qui Tam lawsuit I have filed in federal court. This case can only be heard in the Supreme Court because it is a state versus state case. There is a man by the name of Lee Neal Quanta that has offered, I think he misspelled that word, offered to pay off the national debt. I don't know how any man could offer to do that. If I'm not mistaken, the national debt is like 19.98. It's nearly $20 trillion. I don't even think we have a trillionaire in the world. So I don't know where someone would come up with $20 trillion. But he says there is a man named Neal Quanta. Well, if he has $20 trillion, I mean, I hope I get to be his friend. Anyway, doesn't the Bible say make friends with the mammon of unrighteousness or something like that? I'll have to go look up that verse. Has offered to pay off the national debt. That to me is almost unfathomable. It's unimaginable. And claims on Coast to Coast Radio that he has already placed the sum trillions in gold into Fort Knox Depository, and it is waiting for something. This will be part of the Qui Tam claim if it proves to be true. Again, I have not been able to contact him. Think of the ramifications if it is true. Well, I did try to look up this guy's name, Lee Neal Quanta, and if he's offered to pay off the national debt. Suffice it to say that I didn't find any information, so I haven't, in just my 2 minutes of trying to look this guy up, I haven't been able to find anything on him. I don't know if you guys have heard this or not. Might have been a radio program on Coast to Coast Radio. Anyway, Mr. Brown goes on to write, "Again, you have hit on the information needed to add to the case with the two books related to Agenda 21. What I don't understand is why we do not hear of anyone else filing suit in regards to some of these issues instead of the politically correct issues. Thank you, Edward Lewis." I don't know exactly how to respond to Mr. Edward Lewis on this particular email. Why don't we have more people filing suit? It's probably, he sees that word, right? Filing suit right there. We probably don't have more people filing suit because they'll get thrown in prison and maybe killed or harassed, or the FBI will visit their front door. I really don't, it must be a fear issue, right? You guys will have to help me, but anyway, there's his address up there. Let's remember our brothers in bonds and write him an encouraging letter if you have the time. Thank you for your time, and God bless.